Welcome, one and all, for all is one. Limelight in the twilight. This is a general message for the collective energy currently at the eve of this full moon. So, the oracle cards that were pulled, the number 15 lovers, the seahorses, number 14, and the number 23 card, lead the way. The number 23 card shows a white stag. It may not look white to you, but it's at night, hence the purple background. But I intuitively feel it's a white stag because this white stag continues to show up in readings the past couple weeks, actually, for me in cards, usually at the edge of a forest, looking back in this manner, okay, leading the way. He's like, come on, let's go this way. This is the way right here. Come on, follow me. And as you see, he's following a star too from up above. So it's leading the way, but he's actually shining the light upon his way. So, if you're in darkness, shine your light. We got to go through darkness to get to the light, yeah? That's what it's about. So, and in leading our way, finding our path upon our way, it kind of shines a light to others upon their way. Maybe they want some of that same way, Maybe it can help them upon their way. So adding the three cards together, I'm seeing, lead the way. This is equality right here. And actually, seahorses, they mate for life. And as you see the masculine and feminine figures here, counterparts perhaps, it says equality on the card, number 14. That's 15 total. But actually, seahorses, they mate for life. So perhaps this is a counterpart, maybe a soulmate, maybe a lifelong friend, something like that. Okay, put it where it resonates. Then the Lovers card, so maybe lead the way with equality, okay, and fairness and justice for all, and fairness, okay, through your heart. Or it could be a choice of lovers. Maybe you're having a choice. Maybe there's a choice that you have to make about a loved one. Maybe a loved one's not acting right, or maybe you didn't act right in a situation with a loved one, and perhaps you need to make a different decision. Or somebody's coming in. Maybe you got two somebody's coming in. Maybe you have to make a choice. Maybe some have been juggling two different people. That is showing up as well. So that's what I got on the oracle cards. Now moving into the Celtic cross for the current energy on this full moon. The current card, we have the Queen of Swords crossed by the Strength card. The crossing card can help or hinder. Okay, so it's not one or the other. It could be both. It could be one. There could be multiple things that are hindering you, or multiple things that are helping you, or maybe one of each. Anyway, the Queen of Swords, that's air energy. Okay, it's actually water of air. As we see, all these are dragon cards, okay? We see the air element in the bubbles, okay? And the Queen of Swords is in the traditional card. She's got clouds halfway up her body, but she can see now. She has clarity, okay? Seated on a throne, has clarity now, and maybe a situation. This could be a person in your life. Yeah. Um, it would be a Libra. Queen of Swords is Libran energy. This card rules from the 21st degree of Virgo to the 20th degree in Libra. So primarily the entire Libra season. That's why the Queen of Swords we see as Libra. Okay. These people or this person, um, they're keenly perceptive. All right. Balanced and, equal, fairness, and just for the most part. Yeah. They're graceful. They're not really clumsy. Some of you may be a dancer. A lot of dancers are Libran. At other times, in their shadow, each card has light and dark. So, at other times in the shadow aspect, or if they're ill dignified, in their attribute, they can be, how could I say, cruel, perhaps deceitful. Maybe they're just unreliable. Maybe you just can't get an answer, a straight answer uh, from this individual. What's crossing it is the Strength card, and we see the Caduceus here, okay, representing Mercury, but the Strength card is definitely Leo. It shows the Leo right there. So this could be a very strong individual, or maybe there's a strong lure from the oracle cards that you're lured to this person, or they're lured to you. Not lured, attracted. Okay, maybe lure is a wrong word, but perhaps there's strong attraction in the thought process because Mercury represents the mind, right? So maybe there's a lot of thoughts of attractiveness towards the other, since we've seen the seahorses and the lovers and the oracles. Crowning the reading, we have the Eight of Coins. This is a mastery of something. You see the dragon, he's balanced on one foot, okay? He's mastered grounding his energy and even showing off a little bit by doing it on one foot. That's balance, right? Could be this Queen of Swords, very balanced individual, not in their shadow, has worked on some things and are, moving through the light aspects of it, and being just and graceful and fair, by being balanced on one. I'm seeing 4 pillars there in the trees, that's celebration. It also is the 1111, could indicate this being a new relationship, or maybe a restoration to one if you're already in a relationship, like you're getting over the rough patch. The honeymoon's over, and you went through some things, and now things are evening out. Yeah. At the base of the energy, we see the Knight of Wands. Okay. The Knight of Wands is passionate, fiery energy. Yeah. Their thoughts could be, attracting them to you, and they might even have great passion towards you. Yeah. But in the past position, Five of Cups, you're leaving something behind here. Maybe it was the last full moon, or maybe a couple of cycles ago, where in the traditional card we see the figure standing there with his head down looking at the spilled 3 cups, but all he's got to do is turn behind him and look, and there's 2 full cups behind him. Yeah. So it looks like, moving this direction, and what we're seeing coming up, he turned around and seen the 2 full cups, and cried over his milk, and processed the emotion, and grabbed the 2 full cups and went forward. Because in the near future, we're seeing the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. This is, all aces are primordial. It holds all the other cards within that suit. And we see Spirit, a 3-sided pyramidal shaped thing here representing Spirit. The Spirit entering the water is what that represents. And actually, look at there. There's 3 rings on the cup. That's what that represents. Spirit entering water. Okay. It's a new opportunity, a couple love of, maybe this is divinely orchestrated. Seeing the Spirit show up in this manner. Look, and we even see another full moon there. And he's holding a white pearl, or a white orb of light. So maybe it's something really good to look forward to. Yeah. This Ace of Cups is, it's not masculine energy, it's actually feminine energy, and we hold both. So this isn't speaking of gender, but this is actually primordial feminine energy. Okay. It's the co-partner to the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is the masculine. This is the co-regent of the feminine aspect of that. So those 2 together, that's the lingam and the yoni. The yoni being the feminine aspect. This card represents the moon and the yoni, the feminine. But you see the triplicity here entering the water, okay? And that indicates Spirit entering into this situation. So it could be divinely ordained. It could be, Spirit's got its hand in this, that you left something behind here, and, there was a lot of damage, but you just picked up and moved on and moved forward through your passion and your mind, and mastered this ability to stand on one foot and balance it. Yeah, moving forward with Spirit and through love. Like you're still willing to take a chance on love after you've gathered your senses. Yeah. In the current energy, we see the Judgment, the number 20 card. This is the current energy. It's your current energy. Perhaps this is justice for everything that you went through, and that graceful and just balance of the Queen of Swords. It's coming out through the Judgment that, leveling the field, kind of making things right, making things fair. Yeah. In the environment around you, we see the Knight of Cups. He's holding the lance, what are those? The jousting lance. He has the jousting lance right there. That's the wand. You see it again here, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so the Knight of Cups, that could be that couple love offer. It's connected right there to the Ace of Cups, and this is in the environment. So in your environment, somebody could be coming in with an offer, or maybe you're presenting your couple love. And look there, the full moon again in this cycle, this season right now, or maybe the next one coming up. But we see the full moon again. It's been throughout the theme. Yeah. In the area of what we want to be careful of, or maybe what we don't want, we see the Empress sitting there. 333, the Empress. That's Venusian energy. Taurus and Libra again. Yeah. Maybe what you don't want to do, maybe the aspect of this is the area we don't want, or maybe attributes that we don't want to possess. And the Empress is sitting on your throne, like maybe sitting on a decision, or maybe not taking any action towards what we've already discussed, or maybe the other person is hesitant to make a move, and maybe they're waiting on you to make the move. Okay, it doesn't always have to be the man, and it doesn't always have to be the woman either, but somebody's got to make a move, and it's either traditional or it's not. But the suggestion and what the card is saying, don't sleep on it. Get up and make a move. It's not how it's received. It's, how are you going to know if you're sitting on the couch watching TV, eating bonbons? It's not going to come flying through the window. So somebody's got to make a move. Seems to be divinely ordained. I'm thinking both. We see two here on the caduceus. There's two. There's a lion and the dragon, and they're both flying here. Yeah. So could be both. It doesn't matter who makes the first move. Somebody make a first move, and the outcome position. We see the Ace of Coins. Ace of Coins usually represents a new opportunity, a new beginning, a new offer. Seems quite fitting with the theme that we're running here with this energy, and this full moon, it's some really heavy energy with the full moon in Scorpio, of releasing. Okay, so if you have any residual from this Five of Cups or anything from the past, you really don't want to drag that into a new relationship or a new opportunity. If maybe it's a job, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a new job opportunity. If you had a bad experience at your other job, don't drag it into the new job, and think that that's the way it's going to be in all situations, but it's not. Empty your cup, be open-minded, and explore the possibilities and potentialities of this new situation that's presenting itself. And at the bottom of the deck, Nine of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the Hangman. It's coming in whether you're hanging or not. You could be hanging out somewhere and meet this person or get this opportunity, leading to this Wheel of Fortune. This could be a big opportunity. And, the Nine of Coins is, wish fulfillment, being fulfilled in what you want, whether it's love, whether it's a new job. Maybe you're moving house. Maybe you're just starting over brand new on everything, and releasing everything of the past in this cycle, in this full moon, that you're moving into this new. That's what I got, guys. Hope you got something out of that. We'll see you in the next one.